8 Secrets on Life and Samsara 2. Siafang. June 18, 2011. Translated by Treasure. 5. Leopards cannot change their spots. Peonies have shown their nature for thousands of years, as have lotuses, willows, cattle, and sheep. Without external forces or infiltration from different structures, material will not change. Without guidance from gods, Buddhas, celestials, demons, goblins, or monsters, we will always remain human. Therefore, in the process of reincarnation, we must approach those who have the consciousness of celestials, Buddhas, and gods. If we hear their teachings and practice them, then we will be blessed greatly. In the same way, if we follow people with elusive thinking, it will surely lead us astray. If you want to sublimate your life to higher level spaces, then you must never follow the words and deeds of like-minded people. A leopard cannot change its spots, and it is very difficult to change a person. Therefore, every stylite must remain awake. If there is no experience of being reborn, then their own life will be difficult to sublimate. 6. The direction of life is determined by our consciousness when we are dying. The direction of life is determined by people's consciousness at the moment when they retire from this world. We know that the essence of life is determined by its non-material structure, which is mainly shaped by its type of consciousness, its non-material structure, and its life state. Therefore, if someone attains the consciousness of an animal at the very moment when they leave the world, then they must go to the animal world after they die. But if they attain the consciousness of a celestial being when they leave the world, then they must go to fairyland, and so on. A question arises here: if one maintains a human consciousness throughout their life, can they suddenly attain Buddha's consciousness and go to the Pure Land at the moment of their physical departure? The answer is no. There is no possibility of a qualitative change without an accumulation of smaller quantitative changes, nor can anyone overcome the gravity of their life. Additionally, human consciousnesses develop toward the places where their treasures lie. If they lack any accumulation of treasures in heaven, it will be impossible for them to attain the quality of life in heaven without having their treasure there. Where our treasures lie, so too will our hearts be, and there we will find our futures. 7. The imprinting of life's reincarnation. Geneticists know that human DNA carries genetic information and that people who have had physical injuries in their bodies in previous lives have been imprinted with those injuries in their current lives. By observing what people say and do, we can trace back to their previous lives, and just as geologists know the changes that have taken place by studying landforms and geological structures, we can infer the ages of people by observing their appearances. As we study different kinds of people, we can see that some had been specific types of animals in their previous lives, some must have been humans, and some are from heaven. Sherlock Holmes's ability to solve crimes came from his mastery of details and how he could make judgments based on clues left at the scenes of crimes, including where the criminal came from and their basic characteristics, because everything is imprinted just as with the reincarnation of life. This gives us the message that in order to ascend one's life to heaven, all their human imprints must be eliminated. 8. The mystery of Mangpa soup. Note: Mangpa is the Lady of Forgetfulness in Chinese mythology. It is said in the Sutra of Hell's King that ghosts in hell who qualify to reincarnate upward are offered a bowl of Mangpa soup, also called ecstasy soup, to each one, which cause them to forget their previous lives before joining the mortal world as new lives. This is both great compassion and a law that keeps all kinds of lives in order and maintains their dynamic balance. If their memories of previous lives were not eliminated, then human society would be unthinkable. What kind of relationships would exist if people learned that in a previous life, their children were enemies, that their spouse was their grandmother, that a close friend was their enemy, or that their pet was their child? It would create complete chaos and their thinking would be confused. Therefore, the lower level a life is, the more their memories of previous lives must be eliminated. Otherwise, not only would the mortal world be chaotic, but even heaven would be. Each life's information about their previous lives are in codes which cannot be revealed or deciphered randomly. These are cosmic secrets, and if they were to be revealed, conflicts and disasters would result inevitably. The vast majority of people live in confusion and are unaware of the universe's secrets. This is why Jesus said, "To you, it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God, but to those who are without, all these things are done in parables," and that Seeing, they may see but not perceive, and hearing, they may hear but not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven. The mysteries of life are endless, and interesting to explore.